So the Eagles are prepping to take on the Bengals this weekend in what many are calling a statement game, but a new injury that just popped up today could have completely changed the dynamic of this football game. Also, A.J. Brown makes a bold claim about his upcoming matchup and what he wants to see from Jalen Hurts, and we'll talk about a few keys for the Eagles to try to pull out another big win this weekend. We'll get into it all, but welcome into A to Z Philly. Do me a favor. Go down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 7K subscribers. But I want to start it off with an injury report on the Eagles side of things. Jeff McLean reports that today, again, no Dallas Goedert with a hamstring and Mekhi Becton out with a concussion at Eagles practice. They did not practice yesterday as well. So we are trending for no Dallas Goedert, no Mekhi Becton. We know Jordan Mailata is out. So the Eagles offensive line is going to have to tighten up, and they're going to have to be much better than they were last week in order to keep that Cincinnati front line away. And this is definitely a couple huge losses for the Birds, as it doesn't seem like they'll play. But on the other side, the biggest update of the day is that according to ESP, T. Higgins now suffered a quad injury at practice and is questionable for the Eagles versus Bengals game on Sunday. And we will get into this a little more in just a few minutes, but we know that Cincinnati's identity is letting it fly, right? They are a passing team. They want to beat you with the air attack. Joe Burrow's going to sit back there and let it fly. And T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are his main two targets. Those are his guys. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase both off to a pretty good start, I'd say, to the year. And if T. Higgins is not good to go, that completely changes the strategy, what you can do on defense, and it gives the Eagles a whole lot more life and juice as we head into what people are calling a really good duel. So I want to talk about what A.J. Brown said earlier today in regards to this matchup. I'm not going to play the whole clip, but what A.J. pretty much said here, right, is that he wants Hurts to target him out, and when he is on an island, feed him the ball. And what we have been saying every week is if AJ is out there, he should get the rock. AJ is that good. He can have 10 touches a game. He can have 15. It doesn't matter. AJ Brown is one-on-one, probably the best receiver in the NFL, or at least the top 2 or 3. The Eagles have not lost with him yet this season. Their offensive numbers are exponentially better, and AJ's just a freaking stud. Simple as that. He knows that there are going to be some weak matchups on him this Sunday. He wants the ball more. Without pretty much saying it out loud, he wants Jalen to feed him this Sunday. And he says, quote, "Whenever I get one-on-one, my eyes light up, and I want my quarterback's eyes to light up too." Pretty much, look at me, Jalen. I'm going to beat my man. And boom, we are going to go score, just like he did last week against the New York Giants. So I think AJ could end up being player of the game. I know Saquon has a lot of hype right now, but based on Cincinnati, who has not really defended the pass too well, they haven't defended the run that well either, but overall, I mean, there should be some clear matchups in this game where the Eagles can exploit. Also, Nolan Smith talks about his success and the defense as well. He says, "I'm ebbing and flowing and trying to figure things out. And once you figure it out, you have to ride the wave." And that is a really good statement overall about this Eagles defense. They're starting to cover better. They're starting to tackle better. They're not giving up as many points. Obviously, they didn't play the best competition the last couple of weeks, but they now have more confidence as a unit. I really, really hope that Vic Fangio takes what he learned the last couple of weeks and doesn't take a step back just because you're playing a better quarterback. Bring pressure, get in his face. Cincinnati's O-line is really not that good, but let's talk about some of the main matchups from ESP here. This is my number one matchup of the game, okay? Fred Johnson and Trey Hendrickson. Fred Johnson is a backup tackle. He's not really that good. I mean, he can patch up a hole or two, but he's in here for multiple weeks now. And Trey Hendrickson is one of the most underrated edge rushers in the entire game. It says Fred Johnson has allowed 22 pressures and 99 pass blocking snaps this season, and he struggled against Brian Burns. The matchup gets tougher. Trey Hendrickson, 7th in the NFL in quarterback pressures and 4th in sacks. This guy's a monster. He had 17.5 last year. He's had 3 games already this season with multiple sacks, and he is just going to wreak havoc. So I would expect the Eagles to definitely bring some help on the left side. I would expect them to double at times. They cannot let Trey Hendrickson get all over Jalen Hurts because he will make this game ugly. And I really think this is the main matchup that could decide the game. Now, on the other side, can the Eagles get past Amarius Mims? He was a first-round pick out of Georgia, but he is a rookie, right? The Bengals don't have a strong O-line themselves. And when I think about the Bengals the last couple years, or even the couple games I watched this year of Cincinnati, Joe Burrow is really not the issue. Like, he has a decent amount of weapons, but they have failed to protect him year over year. And even now going into this season, it's not like they have a strong running game. So they're asking Burrow to go above and beyond and go out there and win games every time. But he also needs an O-line that can protect him. That's why he's gotten hurt so much. And if Bryce Huff and if Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat can now replicate what they did the last couple weeks, playing against these bad teams, and they can translate that to this matchup, and the Eagles defense can get to Joe Burrow and make him uncomfortable, then it really gives them a huge jolt in this game. And it's going to come down to these one-on-one matchups. Bryce Huff needs to show, again, why the Eagles are paying him $17 million a year. And obviously on the outside, Quinyon, I have full confidence in. This is going to be a tough matchup again, but he has lived up to the moment every single time. Ken Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell guard T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I think it presents a really, really good matchup. And like ESP says, when they move Chase inside, it says Chase lines up mostly on the outside, but he has lined up 106 times in the slot. Can the Eagles' other young stud rookie, Cooper DeJean, come out here and put a clamp on Jamar Chase? So, look, I'm really excited for these matchups. I think the Eagles are going to rise up and live to the moment. And speaking of A.J. Brown as well on the other side against Cam Britt-Taylor, who's allowed 4 touchdowns this season, A.J. Brown's got to come out here and torch this guy, but they need to give him the touches as well. And that's really my second and main key of this game, the Eagles' offensive identity. What are they going to do after coming out running the ball 45 times? Will they establish a run? Here's my one fear in this game is that given the type of offense the Bengals are, and as we can see right here, we'll look at their stats. They are a passing team, right? Chase Brown, who, by the way, is Sidney Brown's twin brother, if you didn't know. I learned that this week. Chase Brown and Zach Moss have not really combined to do much at all in 7 games running the football. The Bengals are going to try to beat you with the air attack. And if they come out and get a lead on you early, and the Eagles once again fail to score in the first quarter, I am a little concerned that they are going to get away from running the football and, start to try to really force it in the air. And that could lead to more turnovers and, just an ugly style of game. Even though it may not be the most sexy style of play, it's what's going to win you this game. Feed the rock to Saquon, let him come out here, establish a dominant ground game, and punch this Bengals defense in the mouth, just like they did last week. I don't care if Jalen throws the ball 10 times. I don't care if he throws it 20, 30. Saquon's got to have 20 touches again. Come out, establish a run. It would be beautiful if they can finally get a hot early start. But even if they don't let the Bengals get up where they're then going to pressure you. I mean, Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, all these guys to get very pass happy. That's one of my fears in this game. And I think the Eagles need to strike first. They need to punch first. And like I said, my last main key is to keep the Cincinnati Bengals away from Jalen Hurts, mainly Trey Hendrickson. He's the guy on that defense that you really got to worry about. Like, for example, look at their defensive line here. Trey Hendrickson has 7 sacks. The next highest is 2. It's literally Hendrickson carrying that unit. And the Bengals currently have 6 interceptions. They have 5 forced fumbles. So they are a defense that can poke it away, but they have not had a lot of success outside of Hendrickson getting to the quarterback. So when you're going up against probably 2 backup linemen, the Eagles need to find ways to keep Jalen comfortable. Obviously, again, you don't want to turn the ball over. You don't want him to get sacked a lot. You don't want him to get hurt. The Eagles need to finally utilize the middle of the field, get some of these quick crosser routes, just get them in a rhythm. And that way, Jalen does not have to hold on to the football that long. But it's also on him to read the field better. Also, I will add that Joe Burrow doesn't really turn the ball over either. So it would be a really nice way for, say, Quinyon to get his first pick in this game. But I think this honestly just comes down to which star players are better. T. Higgins, if he plays Jamar Chase against Quinyon and Slay and Cooper DeJean, and then Trey Hendrickson up against the Eagles O-line, which guys are going to come out and establish their dominance. So with that being said, you look at the Bengals, they're 3-4. They really need a win here. So do the Eagles, even though they're 4-2. The Eagles are trying to keep pace in the NFC. It's been a frustrating year, but more so than that, this is a statement game because the Eagles need to prove that it wasn't just the bad teams they played the last couple weeks. They need to come out here and dominate a good team. The Bengals are 3-4, but they are a much better team than their record shows. They have seemed to be a streaky team this year. Sometimes they'll get really hot. Sometimes they can't even score against the Giants. So at the end of the day, it's all going to be about who starts this game and takes command. And I am going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles. I do think it'll be a close game because I think, Joe Burrow can hang with the best of them. But I'm going to go with the Eagles. I feel like they replicate what they did last week offensively. And I'm going to pick them 28-26 in this football game. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your final score prediction down in the comments section. Who do you think is going to win this game? What are the main keys? Give me all your thoughts. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Also, real quick, let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. It is the great BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using our code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to parlays, live bets, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. So sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you do not win your first bet. Brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly.